Very warm welcome to each and every one of you on this fine Sunday morning. Today we have a very interesting session, and we are going to talk about what I call as distorted thinking. Okay. So when we are talking about the distorted thinking, I would like you to figure out that kind of thinking will put you in a frame of fixed mindset or in a growth mindset. Okay. So follow along and let's see. So there's one kind of thinking some people have, and I call it, is par ya us par, this way or that way. There's another word for it, all or nothing. Okay. So these people, they see everything in black and white. Absolute. There's no shade of gray in it. Either you win or you lose. Any situation they are seeing, they don't see, okay, I have won a little bit. Imagine if you're a teacher, if a student gets, let's say, 40% marks, they will say they're a very useless fellow, Not realizing that earlier he used to get 30%, now he's getting 40%. Okay, that's one all for nothing, I call it thinking. Another one that a lot of people have, I used to have it for a long time, coming from my I know, that's called jumping to conclusions. So making assumptions and decisions without having sufficient evidence, So there are many kinds of things linked to this kind of thinking. One is called, assuming that you're a pretty mind reader. You always assume that you know what others are thinking. Well, like saying, oh, my boss doesn't like me, or this person doesn't like me. I think they think I'm a useless fellow. Yeah, there's no evidence, but you are a mind reader, you can say, oh, I know what they're thinking. Another one is like you think you're an astrologer, predicting a negative outcome without any reason. Have you seen that happening sometimes? I know I'm going to fail in this exam. I'm going to fail into this interview. Even before you went inside, I know they're going to reject me. That's that, you are like, you think you're an astrologer. And the big one that we all have is called labeling. Attaching negative labels to yourself or others without considering the full context of that thing. So let's see, all these 4-5 things that I told you till now, any of you recall yourself or others doing it? If you do, please say so or write in the chat or comment box. Yes? Jumping to conclusions, thinking that you're a mind reader, behaving like an astrologer, or labeling. This is something which we do. Then there is something called, thinking emotionally. Your reasoning is emotional. So these people, they think, I feel bad, so that means it must be bad. I feel it, that this is my truth. Yeah, so you believe that if I feel like this must be the truth. So all those who think that way, you can say yes in the chat box or comment box. You want to share something about all these types of thinking that I've mentioned so far, guys?
Yes, sir. Ready, sir. Raise the hand.
Okay. Yes, Reddy sir, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good morning. It happens
Go ahead.
every day in your default mode.
Okay, it sure does. And with some people also, with some people you will have this. I know this fellow is not going to agree with me. I know that fellow is not going to agree with me. This fellow is a simple guy. Yeah, Malika ji, go ahead.
it's happening within the close relations, sir. Even though I tried to avoid, come out, I couldn't able to, sir. Within close relation, very close relation.
Yeah, that is a solid conditioning, years and years of conclusions you made about them, no? Chalo,
Yeah.
very good. Thank you very much. Shakti?
Yes, sir. As Reddy sir mentioned, when I'm in default mode, it's happening. Otherwise, if I'm having some judgments about some people, always, whether I'm in a default mode or not, it's like, because I'm already having a prejudgment, oh, this person is going to behave in this way. So I'm creating that automatically.
I used to be like that, especially when I went to meet with people, public gatherings where I don't know them very well. My conclusion always, my mind reader was operating. These guys don't like me. These type of people will not like me. Even now, I notice it coming. Oh, these young people, they will never include me in their conversation. They don't like old people. In fact, funny thing, then you prove it right also. Once me and my wife went to a pub, we had gone with my youngest son, we were in Pune. So they entered that place before us, right? And we went behind them. And when we went to the entry, that fellow tells us, sir, are you sure you've come to the right place? I said, yeah. Are you sure you want to go here? So my son saw me from there. He said, oh, Papa, come. So that fellow didn't say. I was just thinking. Now, he had made some mental conclusion or label about me. No? Old people, they will not like you, old music, this and that. So this kind of thinking we are subjected to, and we keep doing it also, and it has its impact. Okay. Now, another thing that we do is this, should and should not business. So we got some very, very inflexible rules about how people should behave and how people should not behave. How many of them are happening? Especially, I think I used to have this. Why these young people, why are they behaving like this, They should behave in a proper manner. They should do this, they should do that. Right? And what will happen, So when you start having these shoulds about they should behave like that, like my wife should not get angry with me, right? Or people should not criticize me. It will lead to feeling of guilt or anger or frustration, right? When my expectations are not getting matched, right? Unreal expectation. Should. How many of you are guilty of doing that? Come on, guys. Let's have a few comments about this. How many shoulds? Yes, Reddy Garu.
Sir, earlier I used to have on my spouse. Now I don't have, sir. Thank you.
No, it could be about anybody else also, no?
Yeah.
Should this, should that. Yes, Galraj.
Namaste and good morning to everyone. So this
Namaste.
happens with me. Even now it happens, but largely it happens with somebody whom I am very familiar. I mean, I have been known him for years, decades. But it doesn't generally happen with a new guy. But like my brother, I know he's going to do this only. Sometimes when he starts telling me something, I react. He says, no, I don't mean that. Then he corrects me. He says, just listen to me, kind of a thing. So that's a preconceived idea about he's going to say this one or he's going to do this only. Similarly, it happens with my close friends. I said, "Arey yaar, you should not have done this. I mean, you should, because we brand him. इस उम्र में ऐसा ही करना है. And this is not beholding your age or position you are in. We set some rules. इसको ऐसे ही करना, that kind of a thing. It happens.
और जब नहीं करता है तो how do you feel?
I feel, sometimes he is going to make enemies. I must correct him. It is my honest responsibility to correct him. That kind of a thing comes.
Right, very good. Thank you very much. Yes, Tanmay.
Yes, good morning. Talking about shoulds, I have a very strong notion that all people who are having a shop or facing customers should be of a particular way. They should talk, and they should have a very polite way of talking, giving excellent customer service, and so on. And that is not possible to get everywhere. Then I feel very upset and irritated, and I feel he's doing something wrong. But when I think about it later on, I feel maybe he did not get trained about it, or maybe he just doesn't care or just doesn't know about it.
Beautiful. And see, the important thing is this kind of thinking, what does it leave you with? It can lead you with anger, frustration, upset, right? Because your expectation is that somebody should be like this. So remember,
Right.
the cause of upset is always unfulfilled expectations.
Yes, sir.
And it's what you're saying is it's unrealistic for us to expect that fellow to behave this way because he may or may not have been trained to do that.
Right. Right.
And then sometimes you make a conclusion also कि आगे से इसके दुकान में नहीं जाऊंगा.
Yeah. And it's also because, see, I am treating my customers or clients in a certain way, then I expect to be treated in a certain way.
Exactly.
But their business and my business is different. So I
And sometimes
understand.
you don't even, give them a gentle feedback. You just
Yeah.
get it in your head. So whenever I feel this, especially where servers are involved or, I tell them, I say, if you were to, I'm a client, do you want me to come back again? बोलेगा, sir, क्या हुआ? They actually don't know what they've done. I did it recently. I was in Pune only. I said, yaar, you don't want me to come back to your shop or what? Nahi sir, kya hua? What happened? What happened? He was a very nice young man, I said, you're not taking me seriously as a customer. Sir, maine kya kiya? Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. And then he became a good friend also. I gave him good feedback later. See,
Yeah.
you do something about it. If you don't do something about it, you are just living in frustration. Anyways, good. Thank you very much. Yes,
Thank you.
Gautam ji.
Thank you, everybody. Very good morning. It is there. It is with every age there is a age bar or communication gap is there. When we see that is Mr. Tanmay told rightly, we started career, we taught or we learned how to talk with the customer. We used to call always sir, giving respect. Even when I'm in front of the customer, I meant giving the respect to his chair, table also. That's it. But nowadays it has changed. People are feeling they are going to be very close with the customer. They are showing that is a पहले हम आप करके बात करते थे वो तू
Off topic मत जाओ. मैं कह रहा हूँ कि how many
Yeah.
should we have got about people? People should be like this. People should be like that. And when they are not like that, we feel frustrated, angry.
Yeah, yes. We feel
That
sometimes
is the
frustrated.
main point.
Yeah, that
All
is
right.
they
Thank
are
you. Thank
we are frustrated, of course. But I am accepting the nature of the new generation. I have to.
you.
I try to learn from them whether I should be change myself or
Yeah.
suggest. Thank you.
Okay. Very nice. Thank you so much. Abhinav, go ahead.
Yes, good morning, everyone. There's so many shoulds I have about everybody. I have shoulds about countries, how a country should behave. I have shoulds about people in the media, about actors. I have shoulds about the people I know in my life. I have shoulds about
Funny.
people in my family. And I've got shoulds about myself also, how I should behave. I should be like Bhagwan Ram, Sargun Sampan, a perfect person. So I'm surrounded by shoulds, and that shoulds takes me away from living in the moment.
All right. Thank you very much. And all those who are watching us on YouTube, you can put your comments in the comment box also. All right. Who else? Kuldeep ji, you want to say something?
Sir, I feel every time that if I know something, I now I realize that I do not know something. Because knowing all means knowing nothing. So I
All
am
right.
gradually improving on to that.
All right, good, great. Thank you so much for that. Now, there's another thing that especially people like you and I, we feel, oh, we should be grateful for everything. It's good. Gratitude as a state is good, right? But you know what happens? Every time you have a negative emotion, or you feel negative about something, you feel guilty. because you're thinking, oh, I should be grateful. Right? Now, let me give you an example, okay? Like feeling low or feeling depressed, but thinking that you have no right to feel that way because things are worse for others also. Yeah, so sometimes we are not willing to be present to or accept that, okay, I'm feeling like this, it's fine, it'll go away. Now, a little should is there also. No, I should be feeling gratitude. Why am I feeling like this? Okay. And then you blame the person who makes you feel like that also. So that's another one. Then there is this big thing. A lot of us do it. I call it, catastrophizing, oh, something bad is going to happen. Yeah. Imagining the worst possible thing that is going to happen. For example, if I don't do well in this interview, I will never get this job. And if I don't get this job, I'll never get any other job. Okay. If somebody rejects you, you're thinking, see, again, I got rejected. I always get rejected. I will always be rejected. A lot of students have this, If I don't do well in this exam, I'll never get a good job and my life will be a failure. That is called catastrophizing, right? Little bit of conditioning is also involved over there, isn't it? Then there is another thing that we will either exaggerate something, make it, you magnify it, make it bigger than what it is, or you trivialize something. Here, what we do is we give unnecessary importance to perceived failures. Perceived, you may or may not have failed, but you think you have failed. So you're giving too much importance to that. Why did I fail? Or weaknesses or threats. You give too much importance to that. You magnify it, right? On the other hand, you will downplay your successes and strengths and opportunity. A lot of us are guilty of doing that. Now, this can lead to really an imbalance in our perception. What we can do is such as, exaggerating the positive traits of others while understating their negatives also. That's another distortion. Let me give you an example. Now you have done something, some report, or you have done a performance or something, and you will get all kinds of reviews. Okay? People will give you all kinds of feedback. Now, people who indulge in this maximization and minimization thingy, what they'll do is they will focus on one negative comment while ignoring the various positive compliments that they might have received. Have you seen that? So that's another one. Now the next, there's another kind of thinking which is almost like catastrophizing, but I call it assuming the worst. Now, like you're assuming the worst outcome without supporting evidence. Now this happens sometimes because we overgeneralize. Yeah. What is overgeneralized? Making a big conclusion from limited evidence. Right? So you have one, you go for a sales meeting, you have one, it's a bad meeting, and then you think, I'll never do well in sales. That is called overgeneralizing, right? Then another thing that's a part of the same kind of thinking is called disqualifying the positive. So whatever positive experiences, accomplishments are there, you dismiss and then, nay, oh, nothing, that is nothing, no? Like, for example, when you get a promotion, thinking that, oh, it is just luck, but I did not actually deserve it. There's another kind of thinking. How many of you sometimes do that? You can just raise your hand. Yeah, many of us do it. Those who are watching us on YouTube, put a comment in the comment box, please. Yes, Abhinav, go ahead.
No. I was just saying yes, it happens with me also.
Okay, got it. Then what else do we do? We do something I call as, we have this filter, we'll filter out, mental filtering. Yeah, focusing only on negative experience or so we have so many negative experiences in life, right? So focusing more on that. Like for example, you go for a nice holiday and you forget all the good times you have over there, but you only remember that one bad experience you had somewhere. Right? So you go to some place and we go to nice restaurants over there, lovely meals and all, but you remember only that one place where one day out of 4 days he gave you a meal which you didn't like. We do that, no? Sometimes. Then there's another thing that we very often do, it's called internalizing. Now what happens? We are blaming ourselves for things that are outside our own control. Yeah. I have an example. So you're trying to do something and in your work or something like that, and they're not smart enough to do it. And they just make a conclusion, oh, it's not my cup of tea, without thinking that, I might need some additional training or support. Like when I was a kid, I assumed I'll never learn maths. And I didn't even put in the effort to improve in it or find out how I can do that. That's called internalizing, right? Then there are people who will externalize. Like they are always blaming someone else or something else for their problems. Now, problems that they might themselves be able to sort out, but you waste your time blaming other people for it. You can, if you want, do something about it, but you're not doing, you're just blaming others. Typical example is one person I came across very recently. He is financially always in trouble, okay? And they keep on blaming everybody. Okay, my employer is not paying me enough money, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Without, considering that he should be looking at his own financial habits and financial planning. Yesterday, I had a very interesting conversation with a friend of mine where, he has to break a commitment to his customer because of something outside his control. Something happens and things are not happening the way it is expected. Client is very upset and angry with him, right? And he's very, very upset. So what happens is more time will be spent on being upset rather than, pacifying that fellow, explaining to that fellow what actions are being taken, this and that. See, so, I mean, why are we talking about this distorted thinking? The reason we are talking about it is that when we fall into the trap of this distorted thinking, we are not able to focus on creating possibilities and using our growth mindset. We are wasting our time, we are wasting our attention and energy on something totally which is not going to help anybody in that situation. Okay, that's the reason why we are doing this. So any comments you have, please put them down. Anybody wants to say anything here before we move on?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, when others were blaming us for the incidents what was happened long ago, so long ago. So there I'm losing my control. So that is I will not be in that growth mindset. I will get upset, get influenced. So I have to come out.
You're getting influenced by them, okay? And it's something which happened 30 years ago. You can't do anything about it,
Yes, yes.
right? So you remember I've taught you something called discreation. That whatever feelings you are having, you can either discreate it, yeah, because your attention is gone into that, yeah. So sometimes in that conversation itself, now I tell people, okay, this is what I do. If you want, you can do it. You can say, okay, it happened 30 years ago. What do you want now? Shall we keep on blaming each other, or shall we work on having a great relationship and enjoying the relationship we have? Sometimes I simply ask them, what do you want? What do we really want? And then they start thinking. Because sometimes people are out of control, huh? When they just go on talking negative, they go out of control. So when you ask them, what do you want? And ask them very gently and politely, not in a rough way. And if you ask them, hey, so okay, so what do you want? Then they'll get more upset and they'll blame you more. They'll say, fine, I get it. You're very upset about what happened 30 years back. I'm sorry, I can't do anything about it. But what do you want now? Let's look at what you want now and what I want now. Always say, let us look at what do you want now. It shifts their focus. Try it and see how it works. Okay? Great. Thank you very much. Yes, Tanmay?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, when you mentioned about internalizing, I was able to relate to it because I do it frequently, especially when I'm on the road, I hit a traffic jam. Then I think about why did I take this route? I should have taken the other route. And I always, choose the route which has traffic and so on.
Yeah, it happens to all of us. But you already stuck, Ben. What's the point thinking, I should have taken another route? But it's quite automatic. It happens many times.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for sharing it. All right, so time to end our session. So very quick request to Kuldeep ji, Commodore Saab, can we have some nice shairi from you?
Sir, वक्त दिया करें अपनों को, वक्त दिया करें, स्मॉल सजेशन, वक्त दिया करें अपनों को, कहीं ऐसा न हो कि आपके पास वक्त ही वक्त हो लेकिन अपने न हो.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
I'm getting a look from someone. वक्त दिया करें अपनों के लिए, कहीं ऐसा ना हो कि वक्त ही वक्त हो मगर कोई अपना ना हो. क्या बात है. Thank you very much.
Share your time with your own people. It should not happen that you have lot of time, but own people are not there.
All right, so let's ask Hasina ji, you have some shairi for us today? Hello, Hasina ji, are you there? Okay, never mind. So thank you everybody for being here today. Remember, distorted thinking is not your friend. See how you can get out of it. Thank you. See you tomorrow morning for another interesting, useful session on
Thank you.
Thank you.
empowering morning conversations. Thank you. God bless you all.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.